Hello, it is Thursday, April 23rd. Um, my name is Angela Raincatcher, and we are reading Pema Chodron's Comfortable with Uncertainty. And today we're reading chapter 26. And chapter 26 is called Encountering the Edge. In the teachings of Buddhism, we hear about egolessness. It sounds difficult to grasp. What are they talking about anyway? When the teachings are about neuroses, we feel right at home. Wow, I feel seen there. That's something we really understand. But egolessness? When we reach our limit, if we aspire to know that place fully, which is to say that we aspire to neither indulge nor repress, a hardness in us will dissolve. We will be softened by the sheer force of whatever energy arises. The energy of anger, the energy of disappointment, the energy of fear. When it's not solidified in one way or another, that very energy pierces us to the heart, and it opens us. This is the discovery of egolessness. It's when all our usual schemes fall apart. Reaching our limit is like finding a doorway to sanity and the unconditional goodness of humanity, rather than meeting an obstacle or a punishment. The safest and most nurturing place to begin this way is during sitting meditation. On the cushion, we begin to get the hang of not indulging or repressing, and of what it feels like to let the energy just be there. That is why it's so good to meditate every single day and continue to make friends with our hopes and fears again and again. This sows the seeds that enable us to be more awake in the midst of everyday chaos. It's a gradual awakening, and it's cumulative. But that's actually what happens. We don't sit in meditation to become good meditators. We sit in meditation so that we'll be more awake in our lives. I've been doing a lot of, I don't know that I would necessarily call it meditation. It sounds a little too formal for what I've been doing, but I have been trying to sit with my emotions and sit with whatever wells up within me during, this few weeks of being at home. I say few weeks, I think we're now on 5 weeks of being at home. And noticing how from day to day my energy is different, how day to day my sleep is different. Some days I'm able to sleep. My mind is able to still enough for me to sleep, and the next day is better. And then there are some days like last night where I barely slept at all, and so I basically did the bare minimum that I had to do for my job, and then took the afternoon off. And so I'm sitting in the living room with my fuzzy blanket and my crochet, and I'm just trying to, let myself be in the place that I am. And just a second. Stop that. Hermes, trickster cat, likes to claw at my shoes when they're not on my feet. I'm not exactly sure what the love affair is there. Um, but trying to find that balance where I'm neither repressing my thoughts, my emotions, what's right in front of me, nor am I indulging them, and that's hard. That's hard work. It's especially, you know, um, but just, acknowledging them, seeing them, and letting them go. And I think that's, for me, that's the hardest part, is the letting go of them. After I've become conscious of my thinking, um, extricating myself from whatever fantasy or phantasm my mind is spinning at the time. Um, and yeah, I have to come back to it. Um, just come back to it moment by moment, day by day. Um, I don't know. It's weird. I was having a conversation with some other folks, and they barely seemed affected at all by what was happening in the greater world, and they just seemed to um, be adapting just great, um, and were uber productive. And I mean, obviously, I'm having feelings about that, because there's a part of me that wishes that I could be, um, that I could just get on with it. And um, there are days that I can. There are days that I'm focused, and then there are other days where, it's like walking through knee-high mud. And we I've said before that in this time, basically any time, we need to give ourselves that gift of loving kindness. But it's hard, when you're surrounded by all these conflicting messages, and there's this pressure in the back of your mind all the time to produce, produce, produce. And that there are other people who are having to go out and do their jobs, and fuck all, they can't stay at home, and it just, sometimes it feels a little indulgent. And but I'm just gonna again see that as thinking, that's a story. Maybe it is indulgent. um, and just recognize that is where I'm at, and I guess for me, it's like I wanna invite you to give yourself the gift that I'm trying to give myself, which is the gift of being present in a gentle and compassionate way, and um, yeah, being being compassionate towards ourselves, and with the idea that will then flow out um, to others as well. Um, and so I think what I want to end with is what I always end with, which is, I love you, I see you, and I'm here for you. And I invite us all to be here for each other. And if you have any thoughts that you'd like to comment on anything that I've said, or the readings from the book, please feel free to comment. I look forward to having conversation, and will respond. And I wish for you peace.